Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Lanneman, and today I will be sharing some ideas on how to bring Montessori into your home without turning your house upside down and spending hundreds of dollars. It's easier than you think. This presentation is for parents and caregivers of children under the age of 3. I'll start by telling you a little about me. I am an infant toddler trained Montessori teacher and registered early childhood educator in Toronto, Canada, and I am so happy to be with you today. I am the director of the Infant Toddler Diploma course at Montessori Teachers College in Toronto, and I took a break from teaching in the toddler classroom this year to focus on creating an affordable and accessible online program for parents interested in bringing Montessori into their homes. I work alongside an incredible group of women at the Montessori Room and have spent the last few months creating and teaching our Montessori at Home program. I have been working with children in various childcare settings for the last 15 years. When I walked into a Montessori classroom 8 years ago, I knew I was in the right place. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Children under the age of 3 working independently, spending long periods of time focused on one activity, tidying up their work before moving on to the next, caring for their classroom and each other. I could quickly see that within this Montessori prepared environment, the children were thriving. So what can you expect to learn today? I'm going to be giving you some practical tips on how to bring Montessori into your homes. We will go through each area of the home and I will share ideas on how to foster independence beginning in infancy all the way through to toddlerhood. You'll learn that a few small changes can make all the difference in your child's development of independence. Less is more, and you can do this. Before you know it, you'll be hearing my 3 favorite words. I did it. Throughout this presentation, I will refer to children in 2 age ranges. When I'm speaking about infants, I am talking about children from approximately 2 to 12 months of age. And when I'm speaking about toddlers, I am talking about children from approximately 12 months or when they begin to toddle or walk to approximately 3 years old. In Montessori, we refer to the environments where a child spends their time as a prepared environment. And there are 3 elements: the adult, the space, and the materials. The adult is you. You're here today, and that means you have an interest in bringing Montessori into your home. And the topic today is how to design the spaces in your home and what materials to include. So check, check, check. We've met the criteria for a prepared environment. The environment your child lives in is one of the greatest teaching tools we have. Not only is it a place for your child to play, eat, and sleep, it's also a place for them to learn and grow. When I was training to become a Montessori teacher, one of the first activities they had us do was to lie down on the floor of a classroom. I'm going to ask you to do the same at home. Spend time in each area of your home at your child's eye level. Lie down on your stomach or back, sit down on your bottom or knees. You can pause the video and do it now. I'll wait. Or feel free to do it at a time when you're more comfortable. Here are some things to think about as you see each room from your child's perspective. What do you see? How do you feel? Are you comfortable? Are there interesting things to look at? What catches your attention? Here's a beautiful quote from Dr. Montessori that explains the importance of the prepared environment. The child has a different relation to his environment from ours. The child absorbs it. The things he sees are not just remembered, they form part of his soul. He incarnates in himself all in the world about him that his eyes see and his ears hear. The purpose of that activity is to inspire you to prepare simple spaces in your home where your child has the time and space to explore. This is the first step to creating a prepared environment. You don't need to renovate your homes or buy anything new. Chances are you may find you actually need to remove some things. Before I begin going from room to room, you can bring Montessori into your home without making any changes at all. All you need to do is create opportunities for your child to observe you doing everyday tasks, like hanging up your jacket, wiping up spills, putting clean clothes away, and so on. From birth, make a point of bringing your child with you as you go about your day and make time for your child to observe. Move slowly. Use simple language to tell them what you're doing. I also encourage you to spend time observing your child and enjoying their exploration of the world. Here is a child from our Montessori at Home program serving himself dinner. After 2 years of observing his parents serving themselves and him, he's now doing it independently. What a moment for a child when they discover they can do it all by themselves. I always say to parents, you are your child's most favorite people, and they are looking to you to learn about the world around them. All right, let's begin with the entrance area of the home. The entrance area of your home is an important place for learning. It is here that your child will learn to take off their shoes and coats and get dressed to go outside. Here you can prepare an inviting space for your child by making a few small changes. Add a low hook. In infancy, your child will observe that this is where their jacket is hung, and in toddlerhood, they will begin to hang it there themselves. The entrance area in these photographs is quite small, but this family has prepared an orderly space for their child to develop independence. They've hung low hooks and even thought to add a photograph underneath. You may even notice there's a picture of their family dog there too, and that is where the leash is hung. Add a small chair, stool, or like in the photograph above, sit on the bottom step of the stairs to put on or take off shoes and boots. This can also be a place for them to sit and observe you. Create a space for shoes and boots. This can be done by using a small mat or shoe rack. Add a basket for smaller items like hats and mittens. A popular motto used by Montessori teachers is, "Help me to do it myself." By making these 4 small changes, you've prepared a welcoming space for your child to learn to do it themselves. At approximately 14 months, children will begin to show interest in undressing and dressing independently. It is helpful to remember that it is easier to take things off than it is to put things on. Your child will have more success and develop confidence if they learn to remove their outerwear first. When entering the home, give your child some extra time to shake their jackets off and hang it up on the hook. Shoes with Velcro are great because typically they open pretty wide, making it easier for the child to fit their foot inside. Opening and closing the Velcro will also develop fine motor skills. In the classroom, I would guide the children in removing their shoes by modeling and repeating. One hand on the heel, one hand on the toe, and pull. When your child is showing interest in putting on their outerwear independently, break it down into steps. Let's start with putting on shoes. Show me the hard part. Your child may be able to get their toes into their shoes independently, but struggle to get their heel into the shoe. Rather than doing it for them, observe to see which step they need help with. When we step back and encourage the child to figure it out, we are showing them that we trust that they can do it. Of course, if they show signs of frustration, we will offer our assistance, but until then, support them in figuring it out on their own. Next, I'm going to be showing you a video of a toddler using the flip trick to put his jacket on independently. He looks so pleased with himself, doesn't he? It feels good to do things for ourselves. Here are the steps of the flip trick. You want to stand at your hood or the tag, bend, Put your hands in the armholes and flip the jacket over your head. You can do the flip trick on the floor or on a piece of furniture like you saw in the video. In the classroom, getting 10 toddlers dressed for the outdoors in the middle of a Canadian winter had its challenges, but I always enjoyed it. Why? Because I was watching children learn skills they would be using for the rest of their lives. They are learning to care for themselves. It was amazing. Next, we are headed to the living room. This is the area of your home where your child spends most of their waking hours. If you have the space, dedicate an area of this room to your child's work area. You can develop independence by creating order, simplicity, and beauty. When preparing the living room, ask yourself the following questions. Can your child scoot, crawl, walk around the room free from obstacles? Are there enough toys or materials available to stimulate the child but not overwhelm them? Children need to repeat activities, movements, and ideas in order to master a new skill. It seems counterintuitive, but by providing your child with less to do, you are actually enriching their learning experience. You are giving them time to explore, to absorb all of the characteristics and properties of a material or toy. For an infant, I'd recommend 1 to 3 toys out at a time. And for a toddler age child, I'd recommend about 3 to 6 toys out at a time, but always start with less. Is there a shelf where the child can find different activities throughout the day? Are the materials organized in a way that the child can remove them and then return them back to where they found them? Baskets and trays are a great addition to a child's toy shelf. They keep everything organized and provide your child with a clear and simple way to tidy up. Children love to know where things go, so try to find a place for everything and be consistent. By creating order, your child will begin to make connections like, I took this basket of blocks off the shelf and I know where it goes because I find it in the same place every day. Where will your child work or play? Is there an inviting and comfortable space in the room where they can focus? When your child begins to stand and walk around, add a small table and chair to the space. This provides your child with a choice of whether they'd like to do their activity on the floor or at a table. It will take time for your child to develop the habit of putting their work away. Be patient. In infancy, put toys away while your child observes, and as they get older, guide them to put things back independently. In the Montessori classroom, it would take about 2 or 3 months before the children settled into the routine. Throughout those 2 to 3 months, the children arrived to the same classroom with the same materials. Nothing changed. They needed predictability and consistency to be able to feel calm in this environment and understand the order of things. Outside of the classroom, children need the same. Leave the same materials on the shelves for at least a week or two, depending on how frequently the child works with them. Observe your child's interest and engagement with the materials and rotate as needed. Select activities that your child can work with independently, meaning activities they'll be interested in and successful in using. Provide opportunity to explore real life material. When I say real life materials, I mean exercises in practical life. Here's a quote from Dr. Montanaro that explains what I mean. All the activities connected with looking after yourself and your surroundings, such as preparing food, laying the table, wiping the floor, clearing dishes, doing the dusting, etc., are precisely the tasks that adults like the least. But between the ages of 1 and 4 years, children love these jobs and are delighted to be called upon to participate in them. Your child can participate in caring for their environment by providing them with child-sized materials. In this photo, you can see some examples of child-sized practical life tools. They are designed to work with small hands, so they are perfect for developing fine motor skills. Whenever a child is struggling in the classroom, we use practical life exercises to help them feel calm and grounded. Here are a few of their favorites. Caring for plants. All you need is a small watering can. Water the plants inside or outside in the garden. A little later, I'm going to show you a video from our Montessori at Home program where I demonstrate how to water the indoor plants. Dusting. Believe it or not, children love to dust. All you need is a handheld duster. One of my favorite memories in the classroom was watching the children remove all of the books from the library because they felt the shelves needed to be dusted. They worked for 20 minutes to dust every nook and cranny and then put all the books back when they were finished. It was incredible. Washing the windows. This activity always had a lineup of children waiting for their turn. All you need is a small spray bottle and a squeegee or drying cloth. The spray bottle will take some practice to figure out. I always enjoyed watching the children learn how to use it, resulting in water spraying all over, but they were delighted. You could also take this activity outside. Next, I'm going to be showing you a video of a toddler washing a window and caring for his indoor environment. Okay, let's resume our tour and head to the kitchen. It is here in the kitchen that the child will learn how to wash their hands, prepare food, and participate in caring for their indoor environment. I encourage you to include your child in all activities that occur in the kitchen. In infancy, they can watch you, and as they grow, they can begin to participate with your guidance. Demonstrate how to wash your hands before preparing food or eating. Work with your child to unload the dishwasher, as long as the dishes are child safe, and encourage them to put their tableware away. One of the biggest surprises for parents when signing their child up for Montessori school is how early we introduce food preparation. Contributing to the preparation of food develops independence, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, social skills. The list goes on. You can introduce food preparation in infancy by providing them with soft fruits or steamed vegetables to squish or mash with their hands. While squishing the fruit or vegetable, they are developing fine and gross motor skills while also engaging in sensorial exploration. To avoid getting mashed fruits and vegetables all over your kitchen, put them in a Ziploc bag for your child to manipulate with their hands. At approximately 14 months, introduce washing fruits and vegetables. I suggest you begin with fruits and vegetables that can withstand any bumps and drops, like apples, oranges, potatoes, cucumbers. All you need is a small bowl of warm water, some soap, and a sponge. Your child can sit on the floor or at a table and wash the produce before eating it. Chop fruits and vegetables. There are incredible child-safe cutting tools available, designed to develop independence while also keeping little fingers safe. I've shared some examples here in the photos. Provide your child with a small bowl to put the fruit or vegetable in after they've chopped it. Baking is a great activity to involve your child in the kitchen. Start with 2 to 3 ingredient recipes. Pre-measure the ingredients so your child can pour them into the mixing bowl independently. Encourage them to mix and stir while exploring the ingredients with all of their senses. Remember to take your time. Embrace the mess and involve your child in the cleanup when finished. Juicing. Use a hand juicer to make freshly squeezed orange juice. This was another favorite activity in the classroom. Add a small jug to pour the orange juice into afterwards, and then they can pour the juice from the jug into their glass. Not only does this activity strengthen fine and gross motor skills, I found it also helped the children to feel comfortable eating oranges. If they were hesitant to eat an orange slice, we would juice them first so they could taste it. Encourage your child to peel fruits, hard boiled eggs, and open food wrappers. You can help them by starting the peel or opening the first part of the wrapper and guide your child to do the rest themselves. In the top right-hand corner, we see a child chopping celery at the counter. He is using a learning tower. The learning tower brings the child up to the counter where they can observe, participate, and contribute to household tasks. It is a bit of an investment, but you can replicate the same function with a step stool or by bringing food preparation down to your child's level at a small table. In a Montessori classroom, children show so much enjoyment when preparing food, sharing a meal together, and caring for their environment. Snacks and meals are served family style. Bowls are placed in the center of the table, and each child takes a turn to serve themselves using child-sized tongs or spoons. You can do this at home by guiding and encouraging your child to serve themselves. Once your child begins to eat solid foods, provide them with their own spoon. You can use a spoon to feed them while they hold theirs and explore it with their senses. Your child will learn what a spoon feels like, how to hold it, even before learning how to use it. Where does your child eat? If you have room, encourage independence by adding a weaning table and chair for your child to eat at. In this photo, we see a child sitting at his table while peeling an egg. He looks so focused, doesn't he? Here are some ideas to bring Montessori into your child's eating area. Set the table. Include a placemat that has outlines of your child's tableware. Introduce this in infancy so your child is familiar with it when they're ready to start setting the table themselves. You can buy a placemat or make one by tracing your child's tableware onto a thick paper and laminating it. At approximately 18 months, your child will have developed the strength and coordination to set and clear their own table. Do you have a low shelf, drawer, or cupboard to spare? If you do, use it as the area where your child can find everything they'll need for eating. Store their placemat, bowl, plate, cup, fork, spoon, and anything else they may need for eating. In the beginning, I suggest only putting one of each item out. This way, your child knows when they've finished setting their table because all of the items are off the shelf. Set up a water dispenser or fill a small jug and put it on a table with a cup. When they're thirsty, encourage your child to pour themselves some water. You may be wondering, what about the mess? All this food preparation and pouring water independently. We're going to get to cleaning soon. But first, I'm going to show you a video of a toddler-age child setting their table. You can see in this video that this family has prepared their kitchen so that he is able to retrieve his tableware independently. Everything he'll need is found in that drawer, and you can tell he's quite familiar with it, can't you? I especially enjoy his little hops after placing each item. When snack or mealtime is over, encourage your child to clean up after themselves. Prepare an area where they can scrape their plates and put their dirty dishes. Introduce child-sized cleaning tools like a broom, dustpan, sponge, drying cloth, mop. In the photo on the left, you can see how I had the cleaning tools hanging in the classroom. Underneath the tools are the garbage, recycling, and compost bins. When the children were finished eating, they'd scrape their plates into the green bin and put their dirty dishes onto the dirty dish tray. It was amazing to see children under the age of 3 doing all of this independently. A recent discovery in our Montessori at Home group was that a Swiffer can be modified so that it's child-sized. All you need to do is remove the middle bar and voila. The photo on the right shows a toddler-age child using a Swiffer to clean the kitchen floor. I'm going to wrap up the kitchen and eating areas by sharing a video of a toddler-age child preparing strawberries. He stands on his learning tower with everything he needs to prepare his snack independently, with his mom nearby to offer assistance if needed. Next, we are headed to the bedroom. The bedroom is an area of the home where so many self-help skills are developed. This is where your child will sleep and rest, so it's important to create a warm and peaceful environment for them. You want to prepare the space with beauty, simplicity, and order. In the photograph on the left, you see an infant climbing into their floor bed. A floor bed brings the child's bed down to their level. You can create a floor bed by putting a mattress on the floor. The idea behind the floor bed is the child will be able to get in and out of bed independently. So you want to prepare this space so that it's safe for any exploration that occurs while you're not in the room. Add some quiet activities and a basket of books. In the photo on the right, you can see that this family has added a small table and chair to the room. There's a basket of self-care items on the table, including a mirror, hairbrush, and some tissues. Add a small garbage can too, so they can throw out their dirty tissues after they've used them. You can also see a small laundry basket to the right of the wardrobe. I know as an adult, laundry can feel like a burden, but to a child, it's an activity that develops independence, gross motor skills, care of the self, care of the environment, and so much more. If you have a front-loading washer and dryer, your child can help you to put the dirty clothes into the washer and remove fresh clothes from the dryer. And what about folding? Your child can help with that too. Give them a task like matching socks. Not only is this helpful, but it also develops visual discrimination skills. When buying a wardrobe or dresser, ask yourself, will my child be able to use this independently? Buy a wardrobe or dresser that will grow with your child. Initially, you will be the one to choose your child's outfits, but as your child grows, offer them choices. Have one drawer or cupboard at your child's height where they will be able to independently select their clothing. Rather than having 3 or 4 pairs of pants, shirts, socks, underwear to choose from, give them a choice of 2. Next to the wardrobe or dresser, add a stool or small chair for dressing. It's easier to get dressed when sitting on a stool versus the floor or bed. From infancy, name the different articles of clothing your child wears. As they get older, talk to them about what you're doing. For example, your head goes through the opening of your shirt, and I can see your toes coming through the pant leg. The fit of clothing is really important for developing independence. A Montessori teacher's dream is to have a classroom filled with children wearing elastic waisted pants. Trust me when I say skinny jeans and toddlers don't work well together. Children need to be able to stretch and pull on their clothing to figure out how to move in order to dress independently. Next, I'm going to share how we guide children in pulling their pants off and on. I've broken each one down into steps. For pulling pants off, you want to start by encouraging your child to pull their pants down to their knees, and then encourage them to sit on a stool and pull their pants down to their ankles. And then finally, assist your child in removing their feet out of their pants. Now, pulling pants on. Have the child sit on the stool and show them how the elastic waist of their pant stretches. Assist the child in putting their feet back through the footholes. Encourage your child to pull their pants up to their knees. Have the child stand and show them where to place their hands to pull their pants up and over their thighs and bottom. Isn't that great? These demonstrations take children through the process step by step. They also provide you with an opportunity to observe and see which step your child may need help with. As Dr. Montessori said, never help a child with a task at which he feels he can succeed. This is the key to independence. It doesn't mean you should step back and let your child struggle. It means you should step back, offer guidance, and only interfere when your child indicates to you that they need help. Okay, now we are heading into the final area of the home, the bathroom. There is so much to learn in the bathroom. Prepare this area of the home for your child to have opportunity to care for themselves. In infancy, provide your child with time to observe family members caring for themselves and give opportunity to explore. Give your child time to explore the water in the bathtub, the feel of a small bar of soap, loofahs, containers, anything that you would find in the bathroom. Here are some ways you can develop care of the self and independence in the bathroom. Once your infant starts spending time in the bathroom, add a low hook for their towel. Even before they are able to remove or hang the towel independently, they'll see that this is where their towel belongs. You're setting the stage for later independence. To help with toilet independence, introduce a potty at an early age. Even if your child isn't ready to use it yet, they can practice sitting on it. Similar to the other areas of the home, keep your child's self-care items in a basket. When they're ready to start using them, they'll know where to find them and where to put them when finished. You can help your child to feel more comfortable when using self-care items by providing opportunity for exploration, as I mentioned above. As an activity outside of the bathroom, prepare an exploration basket for your infant or toddler. Place some self-care items in a basket. So here I have some examples. A toothbrush, some small containers, a brush, a nice soft cloth. Give your child the time and space to explore each item. I know that sometimes teeth brushing can be challenging. The best advice I can give you is to brush your teeth with your child. Infants love to observe. This is how they learn about their environment. So even before they have teeth, you can show them how you brush your teeth. Give them a toothbrush of their own to hold while they're watching you. You are their greatest teacher, and the earlier you begin, the more comfortable and familiar your child will be when it comes time for them to start practicing self-care. Teach them how to wash their hands. Use a towel to dry themselves off, pick up their dirty clothes, and hang up their wet towels. Make sure they can reach everything they'll need. Add a step stool for your child to reach the sink and toilet. This ends our tour of a Montessori home. As you've learned today, you can bring Montessori into your homes in many ways. By making a few small changes or adjustments around the home, you can foster and guide your child towards independence. I truly believe that anyone can do this, and I have spent the last 8 years of my life seeing the impact that Montessori makes in the lives of children. If you're interested in learning more on how to bring Montessori into your homes, sign up for our Montessori at Home program. Each week, you get 2 to 3 Montessori activities emailed right to your inbox. Each lesson is designed to promote independence, confidence, and focus by developing and strengthening fine and gross motor skills. You'll also get a monthly practical life guide with ways to teach and encourage your child to participate in practical life skills around the home. Go to themontessoriroom.com for more information. Next, I'll be sharing some videos from our Montessori at Home program. But before I do that, I want to say thank you all for being here today. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Hello families, how are you today? I hope everyone is doing well. For today's activity, we are going to be squeezing a sponge. The purpose of this activity is to introduce the practical skill of squeezing a sponge while strengthening the hand and engaging in a very rich sensorial experience. So what you will need today is a bowl with a little bit of water. Make sure the temperature of the water is comfortable enough for your child to want to explore for a long period of time. So I've just used a little bit of warm water. You also are going to need a sponge that is roughly the size of your child's hand. You want to make sure that if your child puts it in their hand and squeezes ever so slightly, water will drip out so your child can figure out the purpose really quickly. All right, so make sure the sponge isn't too big or too small. You want to make sure it's just right so that it's in your child's hand. And the last thing that you're going to need is a hand towel, because there could be some spills with this activity, so you want to have a hand towel nearby so that you can clean it up together if necessary. All right, so here is how I would present this activity if I was working with a child. You want to take the sponge, put it in the water. Lift it up. You want to stop and notice as much as you can to really develop that attention to detail. It will also develop concentration and focus. Squeeze the sponge so the child is getting a very rich tactile experience squeezing the wet sponge. They're also getting a wonderful auditory experience listening to the water drip into the bowl. You just want to repeat. Pick it up. Maybe demonstrate how to squeeze it with 2 hands. You really want to follow your child's lead with this activity. So you can really see how squeezing a sponge would strengthen the hand. So you want to encourage your child to repeat this as much as possible, because that's really going to develop those muscles. You could also do this activity during tummy time. You maybe want to use a bowl or a dish that's a little bit lower so the sides aren't so high. Or you could just provide your child with a damp sponge and let them squeeze it and explore the sensation of a damp sponge. So a wonderful sensorial experience that introduces the practical skill of squeezing a sponge while also strengthening the hand. So that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Take care. Goodbye. Hello families, hello children. I hope everyone is having a great day. For today's activity, we are going to be caring for the environment. We are going to be caring for these plants right here. Look at all of the plants that I have at my house. There are so many. Wow. Today I'm going to be watering the ponytail palm, because if I stick my fingers into the soil, it's so dry. Must be thirsty. I'm also going to be watering this umbrella plant. Look at it. Its name is the umbrella plant because it kind of looks like an umbrella. Let me see. Oh, this soil is also very dry. So here's what you will need for today's activity. You will need some house plants, a watering can. It's a good idea to have a little cloth nearby just in case we spill some water. All right, so I'm going to pick up my watering can. already put some water in it. You want to hold it like this. Put one hand on the handle and the other hand underneath the spout. This way, we're holding the watering can really strong. Okay, I'm going to water the ponytail palm first. Oh, did you see that? The soil just absorbed the water so quickly. It's a very thirsty plant. Pouring little bits at a time. Okay, next we want to give some water to the umbrella plant. Wow. The soil just absorbs the water. It's amazing. I think that's enough. Oh, look. There are some water droplets. I need to use my cloth. There we go. So that is how you can care for plants at your house. I wonder what plants you have. It feels so good to water the plants. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Hello children, how are you today? I hope everyone is doing well. For today's activity, we are going to be learning how to brush our shoes. Look here. On this tray, I have a pair of my shoes. And inside this container, there is a shoe brush. Now, before we start, I want to show you that underneath my shoes, look at the fabric. Those are the outlines of my shoes so that I can use the outline to match and put my shoe right inside of it. Okay, I'm ready to start, so let's go. First, I need to open this container. There we go. Going to start with this shoe. So you slide your hand in just like this, pick up the brush, and then we go like this. Hear the sound of the bristles rubbing along my shoe. Do you see how the brush is moving away from my body? It's going that way. You want to move the brush away from your body. This is a great activity to do if you've gone outside to play and your shoes got really dirty. You can use the brush to clean them. Okay, I'm all done with this one. It back. And now I'm going to brush this one, but I'm not going to say any words so that you can watch me. I think my shoes are clean now. So I'm all finished. I put the lid back on the container. There we go. Now I'm ready to wear my shoes. So I can put these back at the front door. I'm going to take this cloth right here, and I'm going to shake it into the garbage because the dirt got onto it when I was brushing it off of the shoes. Okay, so you can brush your shoes all the time now and keep them clean. I'll see you next time, children. Goodbye. Hello, children. How are you today? I hope everyone is doing well. For today's activity, we are going to be washing a table with soap. We are going to be taking care of our environment and some of the things that we use, and we're going to wash them. We're washing a table with soap today. So here are the materials that you will need. You need a jug of water, some soap, a sponge, a bowl, a drying cloth, a table that needs to be washed. Look, there's marker all over my table. And you also might want to wear an apron. An apron is going to protect your clothes from getting wet. So let's wash a table with soap together today. Squeeze out the sponge. Look at all those bubbles now. Okay. Now I'm ready to wash the table. So I'm going to start right here, and this time I'm going to use circular motions like this. I'm going to rinse my sponge off. Do it one more time. Look at that. Now the table is clean because I washed it. So now I need to take my drying cloth and dry the table. Clean the table is now. Feels so good to watch it go from dirty to clean. So next, I think I'm going to wash a chair. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you enjoy taking care of your environment, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, children.